Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Hey, garden gals and guys, it is New Year's Eve. A very happy New Year to all of you out there. I hope that your holidays were splendid. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, anything else you were celebrating. I hope it brought you much joy this year and wishing you all the best, especially in the garden, in 2023. Today we are talking about something that's a new adventure for me in 2023's. It's one of my goals to try this technique in seed starting and gardening, and we'll see how it goes. That is none other than soil blocking. I have my kit right here. It came in the mail, but I wanted to wait and unbox it with you and go through why I'm doing it, what tools I'm using to do it, and have you follow my journey with this year because it will be my first time using this technique. I will still be doing seed cell trays as well because I want to ensure that I have some success one way or another, but I'm hoping it goes well with this year because I've heard wonderful things about the technique. So let's dive in. What I'm going to do first is open it so you can see what I'm actually talking about with the tools, and then I'll go through why I'm doing it and some extra tools I'm using as well. How does it sound? Good? Good, let's do it. I've had this for probably a couple weeks. We were gone last week on a little vacation, and I was not going to open it until I opened it with all of you. While I'm opening this, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm thrilled to have you here. I am Steph. I am gardening in Zone 5B, and I'm an avid cut flower grower. And really, I'm just a hobby farmer. I am nothing fancy. I am not a professional, but I'm, what's the word? Dabbling with the idea of selling some flowers, so we'll see what the year brings. Oh, tissue paper. Loving it, loving it. Oh. You get a free pen, everybody. I'm all about the free pens. Give it to me, thegardenersworkshop.com. Thank you. What do we have here? Seed starting with soil blocks. Oh, okay, so let me step back. This is all from the Gardener's Workshop, and they give you a little guide, which is really nice, especially if you're new to soil blocking. A blocking recipe mix if you want to make your own seed starting mix, mixing actually how to block, sowing seeds, caring for your blocks, great, gonna have to know how to do that, and planting the blocks. Good information. Loving it so far. Thank you for your order. Happy to pack it for you, Rhonda. Very personalized. I'm here for that. Thank you, Rhonda. Okay, so I purchased the Soil Block Maker set. You do not have to purchase the set. You can get individual pieces, but what comes with the set is a Soil Block Maker large. So this is the large cell. It has 4 cells in it. This would be for things that are larger like peppers, tomatoes, etc. Or if you're bumping any of your blocks up and transplanting them into a bigger cell, you would use something like this. It also comes with the soil block inserts for these bigger blocks to make a little indent in the block so that you can put your seed in there. Check and check. Let's do an up-close version for you to see what this baby looks like. It's built really sturdy. Lovely. Next thing. Woo! Potty, potty, potty. Happy New Year! Okay, now we have the black inserts. Put this up here so you can see it a little better. There's 4 of those, and also a white insert that looks like that. On the packaging, it actually has a QR code that says for instructions on installing it. You can go ahead and scan that, and your instructions are right there. Loving this user-friendliness so far. Now we have the small soil blocker, which already comes together. Let's take an up-close look at this one. So here we are, you can see it's smaller. There's 20 cells in this. Pressing down that way. Excellent. Again, looks like it's made really well, really sturdy. And that's all that comes with this one. Perfect, easy peasy. So for all of that in that kit, I paid $94.90, and that's with $10 shipping. Now, if you wanted to divvy them up and only get one or the other, and if I'm being honest, I'm probably not going to use the bigger one as much from the research that I have done. I'll be using the small one for 90% of my seed starting. And that one is $38.95, the small one at full price. $38.95 for that. If you get just the 4-cell one, that is $44.95. And the inserts for that are $9.95. So you can choose to do the set, or you can choose to do individual ones, whatever you prefer. If I was only getting one, small one. Now let's jump into the reasons that I'm doing this in the first place. The first reason is it is really space efficient. I do have a pretty big seed starting set up. It's in the back corner of my basement back there through that door, and I'll show you that in a second if you'd like to see it. But a lot of times we're starting a lot of seeds if we just dive in with both feet, which most of us do. So it'll be wonderful to have a lot of seeds in a small amount of space. This will imprint literally a palmful of seeds, and that's 20. A cell tray of 20 is much bigger than that. The imprint of it is just so much bigger. So you're saving a lot of space, which is nice because then you have more space to start more seeds. And my goodness, don't we love starting those seeds? The more the merrier, right? The more the merrier. Secondly, you'll have less root-bound plants, and I have seen this with some of mine before, especially if you're getting bigger root things like sweet peas, if they're in a smaller cell tray, or I think even sometimes in the longer ones that are made for things like sweet peas, you can get your roots bound, which means they're tangling around each other, and it's not as good for the plant to have that be root bound. So with these, they can sprawl up and out a little bit better, and also there's no transplant shock. It's just a soil block. There's no plastic around it. So when you're going to put it into the ground, you're just putting that block of soil with the roots there. You're not pulling roots, some sticking to the plastic. It's an easy transfer, which is the third thing that is great about it. It's an easy transfer from your seed starting process to getting it into the ground. There's no pulling it out of plastic. It's a lot easier to have less transplant shock because you're not dealing with the seed tray. Make sense? Makes sense. Increased air circulation is another reason. The seed cell trays have exactly what it is, a tray of cells in it, so plastic is covering all sides of that seed. With the soil blocking, you're having your soil blocks be just your soil blocks. Depending what you're putting them on, you get more air circulation, so there's less chance of things like funguses and disease to grow on your seedlings, which is really important for the health of your plants. And finally, it is more eco-friendly. I do use my cell trays over and over every year, so if you're doing that, you're washing them, you're cleaning them, getting them ready for the next year, great, you are getting good use out of it. But of course, it still is plastic, so being able to have a medium where you don't have to have any plastic to start your seed starting is a win. Now, the website for the Gardener's Workshop is thegardenersworkshop.com. That's where I got all of these. I will link what I purchased below, so you have that if you're, in case you're interested in checking it out. But I do want to move on to some other tools I'm using, because as with most things, you don't necessarily just need that, you need a couple more things too. Not all of these are mandatory. This is just what I am getting myself ready to start with, because I'm starting my seeds, my Lisianthus, in soil blocks January 13th or 14th. That's how I did it last year. I'm shooting for the same timing this year, so I want to be prepared. Let's dive into the tools. The first one I don't have yet. It is the Vermont Compost Company's Fort V potting mix, and that is a 20-quart bag. I'm going to get it off of Gardener Supply. I double checked today. they have it. A 20-quart bag is $24.95, and 98% of the reviews on there said they would recommend it to a friend. I saw Nicole from Flower Hill Farm uses it, really recommends it for soil block starting. I will also use it for my regular seed starting and seed trays as well. It is highly rated on there. I'm feeling very confident that's what I want to use. You can make your own. As I said, there's a recipe that comes if you order from the Gardener's Workshop. She has a pamphlet on how to make that recipe of soil block starting mix, but because I know myself, I'm a one and done kind of girl. If I can put something together and it's already packaged, already ready to go, and it'll still give me healthy, hardy plants, I'm here for it. That's the Fort V compost that I'm going to use for my seed starting mix. I don't have to add anything to it. It'll just be easier that way. That's where my focus is this year, is to make things easier, not harder, and still enjoy it to the full extent. So that's the route I'm going to do this year. And that website for Gardener's Supply Company is gardeners.com. The third thing, oh man, let's nail this. The third thing, shoot. The third thing, close. The third thing, voila, is Plasti Dip. I ordered this on Amazon because I was watching Nicole from Flower Hill Farm and her journey with soil blocking. She has said that after you're doing this movement for a long time, over and over on this metal handle, it starts to hurt your hand and these edges here. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of a bougie, high maintenance gardener, so I want comfort when I'm pressing them out. You know what I'm saying? So I got the Plasti Dip. My husband's gonna help me do this because I don't really know how to do it, but essentially I'll be able to spray the handle on here. I'll show you where. I'm going to have this done and these edges right here done for maximum comfort, because I'll be starting more than 1,000 seedlings, so your girl needs to hang in there. Okay, this is what it looks like. That's what we chose to go with. Again, that is not a must, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that for me. Next is a metal trash can. I went out and got one today. I purchased the Barron's, and this is exactly the one I was picturing in my head, for easy storage, because I'm gonna be going through the soil. I wanna be able to scoop easily without trying to keep it super neat. And the trash can, I think, is the way to go as opposed to the compost packaging. So when that compost comes, I'll just dump it in here, I'll put a scoop in there, and that's how I'll scoop out my dirt. Because I actually start most of my seeds upstairs in my kitchenette area. So it needs to be more contained than just out of a compost bag. Easier to spill it everywhere. With this, I can get it up into my stirring tray, my stirring mix tray, a little more easier, and it has a lid, so when I'm not using it and my 2.5-year-old and my puppy are running around, it will stay contained. Got it today at Home Depot for $27.95, I believe. That's the other thing I got. The fifth thing are cafeteria trays, or leftover trays that you get from dining out, something like this with a lid would work as well. Now, because I'm not very organized, a lot of mine don't fit. See how it doesn't close on there properly? I mean, I should get it together more, but what can I say? I am who I am. So something like this would work if it closed a little better than this. The sides on here are also fairly high. Ideally, they'd be a little lower, again, because of that increased air circulation. You don't have to have the side as high. So something that like a cafeteria tray that is shallow, but still has a little lip, because I'm gonna water them and the water needs to be able to pool if it needs to. So a cafeteria tray has that little lip. It's not high sides. It's the perfect size. On the Gardener's Workshop, she does have some on sale there. I think that's probably where I will end up getting them. They're extra large and you can fit, I believe, 5 or 6 sets of 20 on there. So again, it's very space efficient. But if you can find them at an estate sale or a garage sale, or maybe even ask a local school cafeteria if they have any left over. That's probably the route to go. Also, leftover meat trays, like from ground beef, the bottom plastic part is perfect for that. Wash them, and they're good to go. You just stamp it in there, voila. So a couple options there. If you save your meat trays, that's another free option. So whatever you prefer. Next, plastic wrap. Plastic wrap is what I will use to cover whatever tray I decide to get. I'm leaning toward the cafeteria one. I'll make sure that I can pull it out, set it on top, and that's acting as my humidity dome. I'm gonna go to Costco and get a real big roll, and that'll last me all season, and I won't have to worry about it. That's my plan for that. Next, I have a putty scraper. I just bought this today from Home Depot. Mine is a Husky 4-inch flexible joint knife is the technical name. And this I've seen people use to scoop their soil into the soil blocks, like so, and pack it, and then get the remaining off the side so that it's a real nice, sharp finish at the end. This cost me $12.95, I believe. You could also use a potato masher. I saw a video and Lisa Mason-Ziegler said a potato masher is the best thing to use. Now, of course, I don't have a potato masher, so I'm gonna go to the grocery store and grab one. I was just at my mother's house. I should have asked her for a potato masher. But essentially, it's those things that have a handle, and then there's a squiggly bar at the end. She says you can do the same thing as with the putty knife with that potato masher. Push it in, and then brush off with the side to give it a flush finish. So either one of those. I got this to have it because I lose things often, unfortunately. So I've got this, and then I'll get my potato masher as well. The last thing is painter's tape. I am going to get a roll of painter's tape. I think I have some upstairs, but I haven't checked yet. That is what is recommended, again, by Lisa Mason-Ziegler, to put on the bottom of those trays. So where's my tray? Did I mention I lose things a lot? Here's my tray. You put a line of plastic tape on it to write what your seedlings are that you're starting in your soil block tray. If you've got a long tray, you're just making several lines of the tape for each batch of the soil blocks. She says that works better than masking tape, so I'm gonna take her word for it. And then I'm pretty much set, y'all. And for me, that's it. That is my plan with soil blocking. The main tools I'm using to start January 13th or 14th. Lisianthus will be my first one. I feel like I went pretty quickly, but I hope I got all my points across. I'm excited. Can you feel the excitement? As I said, I will take you along with me on this journey of starting to use soil blocks for seed starting. Again, for all the reasons I just listed in this video. I'm looking forward to implementing that in my seed starting this year. And if you're on the fence or thinking about it, I really recommend going to Lisa Mason-Ziegler's The Gardener's Workshop website. She's got videos, she's got FAQs, lots of different resources. I've looked at a lot of them. It's been really helpful. So if you're thinking about dabbling in it or on the fence about starting, I would go to her website. Again, that's thegardenersworkshop.com, and check out her resources because there's a wealth of information there. And that's it for this video, everyone. If you're new here, please comment below with your zone, where you're gardening at, where you're from. I would love to hear. Welcome to my channel. Also, if you've done soil blocking, please comment below and let me know how your experience has been. I would love to hear. Any pointers that you have for me just starting out with this are all welcome. Lastly, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe. I would love to have you here to follow along with all things garden. And if you've been following me for a while now, a big thank you from me to you for coming along this journey with me. It's been incredibly fun to get tips and tricks from all of you and converse in the gardening community. It's the best, so I really appreciate you being on this ride with me. And as I said to everyone who's new, welcome. Let's keep this train going. From me to you, a very, very happy and healthy 2023 and much success in the garden for you this coming season. We'll see you in the next one, everybody. Bye!